In a humble little village, nestled at the edge of a deep, dark forest, lived an old woman. Her hands, though wrinkled and worn, were always busy weaving soft fabrics, tending to her small vegetable patch. And most importantly, reaching out to help anyone in need. She didn't have much, but the richness of her heart knew no bounds. Her life was a simple melody of kindness, played out day after day. One night, the world outside her small cottage seemed to tear itself apart. Rain lashed down in angry sheets, and the wind screamed through the trees like a tormented spirit. Amidst the chaos, a sound pierced through the storm, a faint, desperate cry. The old woman paused her work, listening intently. There it was again, closer this time, right at her door. Her heart fluttered with a mix of fear and concern. Who could possibly be out in such a terrible storm? Unbolting her door, she peered into the swirling darkness. Standing there, soaked by the relentless rain, was a mysterious man. His face was obscured by shadows, but his posture was one of utter desperation. In his arms, he clutched a small bundle wrapped tightly in a cloth as black as the night itself. Before she could speak, the man bowed deeply, a gesture of profound respect. "Good lady," he began, his voice low and urgent. "I am a traveler on a long and perilous journey. I cannot take my child with me. I beg of you, please take care of him for just 7 days. Only 7 days. When I return, I promise I will reward you beyond your wildest dreams." The old woman looked from the strange man to the tiny bundle. The child within was so small, so vulnerable. How could she turn them away? Her compassionate heart wouldn't allow it. Pushing aside any doubt, she nodded. "Of course," she said softly. "Bring the child inside, out of this dreadful storm." With a look of immense relief, the man carefully handed her the baby and, with another deep bow, vanished back into the tempestuous night as quickly as he had appeared. Inside, by the warm glow of her hearth, the old woman unwrapped the child. He was unusual, to say the least. His skin was as pale as moonlight, and his eyes, when they opened, held a strange, faint glow, like distant embers in the dark. But he was just a baby, and a baby needed care. She warmed some milk, fed him gently, and swaddled him in her softest blankets, crooning a lullaby as she rocked him by the fire. The first few days passed quietly. The baby was strangely silent, never crying or fussing like other infants. He would just watch her with those luminous, knowing eyes. The old woman treated him as if he were her own grandson, showering him with affection and whispering stories of the sun, the flowers, and the birds he couldn't yet see. She found herself growing deeply fond of this mysterious little soul. However, the nights were different. As soon as the old woman fell asleep, a strange energy would fill her small cottage. Shadows seemed to dance in the corners of the room, twisting and elongating into unsettling shapes. Whispers, like the rustling of dry leaves, would slither through the air, though she could never make out the words. A lesser person would have been terrified, but the old woman felt a strange sense of peace. Despite the eerie occurrences, no harm ever came to her. It was as if an invisible shield protected the cottage and its occupants. On the morning of the 7th day, the old woman felt a pang of sadness. The stranger would return tonight, and she would have to give back the child she had come to love. She held him close all day, memorizing his pale face and glowing eyes. As dusk settled, the wind began to howl once more, just as it had a week ago. But this time there was no rain, only an expectant silence hanging in the air. A firm knock echoed on her door. Taking a deep breath, she opened it. The same man stood before her, but he was transformed. He was no longer a desperate traveler, but a figure of immense power and authority. He wore a magnificent dark robe, exquisitely embroidered with swirling patterns of fire and smoke. His face, now clear in the twilight, was stern and majestic, and the very air around him shimmered with a ghostly, ethereal light. He was a king. He smiled, but it was a smile that held the weight of ages. "Old woman," he said, his voice resonating with otherworldly power, "you have done well. I am Vibung, the king of hell. The child you have so lovingly cared for is my son, the heir to my realm." The old woman gasped, her eyes wide with shock. She had been sheltering the child of the underworld's sovereign Vibung continued, his gaze softening. "For centuries, mortals have feared and cursed my name. Not one has ever shown kindness or compassion to a being from my world. You, with your pure heart, did not hesitate. You gave my son warmth and love when he was most vulnerable." The king of hell raised his hand, and a wave of power washed over the cottage. The old wooden walls groaned and shifted, transforming before her very eyes. The thatched roof became elegant tiles, the dirt floor turned to polished marble, and her humble furniture was replaced with chests overflowing with gleaming gold, sparkling jewels, and the finest silks. Her small hut had become a magnificent mansion. "For your selfless act," Vibong declared, "you shall live the rest of your days in comfort and abundance. You will never know hardship or fear again, and when your time in this world is over, I will personally come to guide your soul to a land of eternal peace. You will be honored as my son's savior." Overwhelmed with emotion, the old woman wept tears of gratitude. Vibung gently took his son, who looked up at the old woman one last time with his glowing eyes. And then the king and his heir disappeared into the shimmering twilight. True to his word, the old woman lived a long and happy life, her generosity now matched by her great wealth, which she shared freely with all the villagers. And when she finally passed away peacefully in her sleep, a soft, warm light bathed her grand house for 3 nights and 3 days. The villagers whispered that it was the light from the lanterns of the King of Hell himself, come to personally welcome the kind-hearted soul who had raised his child. Thank you so much for joining me for this beautiful tale. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from around the world. See you next time.